Hello, how are you? It's Kathy. So in my last video I said that we were going to do some gel printing with some botanicals because I had been on a walk and I found these amazing leaves near us that they were like lacy. Brought them home and I even did a little footage on it that you'll see. So my hope is that the matte medium doesn't clog up all those beautiful little veins and holes in there so that you'll still get that delicate imprint. We'll give it a try. The other thing, I have some tea bags and I'm kind of wondering, I could probably just cut this apart, but I also may just try laying some of these on a tea bag. It might actually just be pretty. Laid them on parchment paper and put gel medium because I thought that it would help them so they wouldn't crack, but you know what happened, of course. And I actually kind of knew it as I was doing the process. The gel medium kind of filled in the little holes. So when I did my jelly prints, it wasn't that exciting. Yeah, that was total flop. I wasn't thrilled with these, and it's really not what I had in mind for this project. So we're going to scrap that a little bit. I might use a couple of them. Let's put them over here. So what I did was I went out and I got some fresh foliage from where I live, and I've got some really cool leaves here. So we are going to go and do some jelly printing today, and I am going to make what I hope is a simple journal, something that you could create. We'll do it step by step, and it should be a lot of fun. So this is the general setup. I have two 5x7 jelly plates and one 8x10, a brayer, and some paper to off-roll extra paint. So I'm laying on some Liquidex Paynes gray paint. This is a nice heavy-bodied paint, and it kind of really grabs the texture of these leaves. You just want to get an even layer, and make sure when you put your brayer down on your paper, you flip it upside down so it doesn't get the paper. When you're using leaves for jelly printing, put the bottom side down because that's where most of your texture and veins are going to be from the leaf. Be careful that there's not anything sharp that's going to puncture your jelly plate. I didn't have any problem with it. And yeah, just position them where you want. So what we're going to go over now, and I'm going to show you a few different ones, is what I call, it's a positive and negative print. So let's just show you what we're doing here. So when you pull that up, you're seeing the negative print, which is just the outline of whatever you're making an impression of. We're going to pull up the leaf, and that's the positive print left down on the jelly plate. If you do half at a time, the paper won't move, and you can just flip the paper back down and pick up that beautiful positive print without moving your paper. It's a great technique for, actually, I guess you could even do it with stencils. I haven't tried it with stencils yet, but I found it to be really effective with doing my botanicals. I just really like the effect of that. So this is called mono printing. Basically, mono printing is just one-of-a-kind prints. So we're gonna run through a bunch of these different prints now, and I'll fast forward some of them because I really just wanted to talk about the process, but I want to see some of the pulls. Again, just mixing some Kraft paint, which is a little bit lighter bodied paint. Yeah, you can use tweezers to help move things around, definitely to take the leaves off. If you can leave a little stem like that off the edge of the jelly plate, that really helps when you go to remove it, as you'll see. So I'm going to use a piece of deli paper to take the paint off around the leaf. And this allows you, it's very thin. Number one, you can see what you're doing. And number two, it allows you to really press down around the stems and things and get that excess paint off. You can also use this for like collaging. So some people save this, and I have saved some that I like, and you can, you know, make multiple prints on it. It's just very nice paper and comes out pretty translucent when you collage with it. I wanted to show this. I did lamb's ear, and the actual impression wasn't that great. I think it's because of all the little fuzzies on there. It just blurs the detail, but I still liked the print, and I had pulled the whole plant out, so there was a little root ball in the bottom, and I thought it would be fun to just mix a little paint and paint back in that little root on the bottom of the plant. So that's what I did here. And you can do that, you know, when you're jelly printing. Make your positive image and then take a little acrylic paint and just put, you know, add little detail in. So I'm trying to figure out what to use for a journal for these jelly prints, and I remembered I bought this file folder recently at a thrift shop, and I saw Natasha from Treasure Books make this journal with an accordion type pleat that she used craft paper actually and pleated it, and I remembered I had this. I actually bought it because of that nice brown paper, so I thought I can use this to put in my jelly prints. She actually glued envelopes onto each pleat, but since this has paper, essentially, I'm going to use that and put my prints right on there. I was thinking, what if I take some Tim Holtz black cardstock, mount these on here like this to figure out the size, cut this down to maybe like more of a square journal, like a 6x6. Oh, that one's a little ripped. Let me just see the rest of these. The integrity of this isn't too good. I could re-glue them. So what I'm trying to decide now is whether I should rip these off, just use the accordion, and if I did that, I would glue my black paper onto that spine like that. And I guess the question is there enough? It's only about a 1/4 inch. I think what I'm going to do is cut this down to size and reinforce this with glue, because I like the idea of this being backed by that brown paper. I think it's nice, and it's already there. I just have to make sure, and then we'll talk about the rest of the construction. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So this, I decided on a 6x6 square. Of course, we want to cut off the automobile. Okay, I think what I'll do in that bottom, all right, I gotta do a little dissecting here. I have everything trimmed up. I think this is gonna work. I went in and reinforced this little edge that was weak and glued them, but I think I still need to do one more thing, and I am going to add, I just got this cool Tim Holtz washi tape. It's kind of too narrow to go around the whole binding this way. I thought what I would do is just go like 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and just put a little bit of glue on here. And then of course the black cardstock will cover up, so I guess they should be uniform. So we'll do one here. Well, I've got the pages glued. I went in and reinforced all those seams, and I added 3 pieces of washi tape with glue to every page. I have, I think, 11 pages total, so that's room for 22 jelly prints. What I did also is I added in a little piece of paper to the front and to the back so I can add on a cover. So what I will use is some thicker cardboard or chipboard. I've cut out 2 pieces to make the cover. That will get glued on to here. And then across here we need to put a couple pieces of ribbon. So I've got a couple choices here. I used to embellish jean jackets. So I have all kinds of really beautiful ribbon left over, and a bunch of different choices. What I want to do is I want to take a piece of ribbon and put it on a piece of linen in the middle, and then put this across. And once I get all of my prints ready to go in, I'll see how wide or how narrow this should be. And then of course we'll glue that, tack that there and there. And then the cover will get glued on top of that. I will cover this with a piece of probably scrapbook paper or something and put a nice print on the front. So I think I'm going to go with this on a piece of linen like that, and I'll sew that down the middle. And when I looked at my prints, I thought that went well with it. And I like the width of this too. Found these book pages that I think really add. That will go like that, giving it a little bit around. And then I'll put a piece of this black craft stock and then a print on top of that. Okay, here we go. I've got all of my prints chosen, trimmed, and sewed on. I did a little double stitching around the print and a single stitch around the book page, and now I'm going to glue them in. I might have to end up adding some books and things to this to get a good seal. Let's see how the first one goes. So I'm probably going to fast forward this, but we'll do a couple of them and see how that goes. I'm going to use a combination of double-sided tape, a little bit of my glue stick, and then around the actual edge I'm going to use my white glue. I just think that that really needs to be stuck down well. So let's do this. To get these glued down correctly. I love this Yoo-hoo stick. It's permanent and it really works quite well. I've tried a few different ones and I really like this. So we'll go ahead. This is also very cool. It's called My Sweet Petunia. It's got white glue in it. You can refill it, and it's got that super fine little tip. You can see that. And I got this online. One of the companies, I think I got it you go to the website, My Sweet Petunia website. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it. So we're just going to go around the edges. This is a little squeaky. I might be getting low on glue because it didn't always squeak like that. Yeah, so this is going to work well. So let's go ahead. This will be the first page of the journal. And I am going to just eyeball this with a little bit of the brown page around. That's another nice thing about using a combination of the white glue and the glue stick and the tape, because if you just used double-sided tape, once that's down, it's down. But this gives it a little bit of movement. Oh yeah. This green is one of my favorite colors, I think, that I printed with this project. It's just like a true green. So I kind of went through and picked out the two that I liked next to each other. So for these 2 pages, I'm going to do that and that. I really like these. So let's do this, and then I'll go ahead and fast forward. I will link Natasha's website with, I liked the way she did that accordion pleat and added, because you're not going to find one of these filing things probably like I did. You certainly don't want to go out and buy them. And it really worked well just using a piece of scrapbook or, you know, light cardstock and doing the accordion pleat and using that as your binding. I really thought that was very innovative. And then I saw this old file folder and I'm like, oh, that'll do the same thing. So it worked out well. Yeah. We are ready to do the covers. I'm not going to flip through because I want you to be surprised, but all of the pages are in. I have 22 prints. Take a look. What I did was I downloaded a plant leaf ID app, and so as I was picking the leaves, I would take a picture of them with this app, just print it out, you know, these little labels, and put it on a little vintage book page, and went through and identified. There's some that don't have, some of them were kind of like really cool weeds and I didn't have an ID for it. And then there were some doubles. Some leaves just really took an impression nice, so I made a couple different prints of them. But we're ready to go ahead and do the front cover and the back cover. I've done one. This will either be the front cover and the back cover. And you know, sometimes if you get a print, you make a jelly print and it's not so great, you can cut it out and kind of overlay it on another print, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, that's really gorgeous. So I stained the edges a little bit and did the same cardstock in the vintage book underneath. So I wanted to show you this. This is this cool rice paper that I've had for a long time, and I've wanted to use it for a special project. So I thought the colors were great. So basically just cut my piece of cardstock, and we're going to wrap it around. If I can find my piece of cardstock, all of a sudden it's missing. This is the other page, and that's lamb's ear. Well, and then this also was another jelly print that didn't come out so great, but when you cut it and stick it on there like that, and then I outlined that in white, and I just thought that is really makes a little statement there, and then just stitched around it. Found it. So basically we're just going to wrap it like you'd wrap a gift, and use some double-sided tape and trim the corners just to get it nice and snug. You can use the lines to help get things lined up. Okay, we'll do opposite sides first. Okay, there's that. Let's go ahead and put this on here. similar to how I did my other pages. All right. So now I have to decide if I want that for the front or the back. And then we've got this one that's awfully pretty too. I think we're going to go with the lamb's ear for the front. So let's go ahead and take a measurement of this. And that's going to get caught right there. And I hope to use those in the journal somewhere. I'll see if I can find a little place. So that is going to just going to glue it here and in the back, not along the binding, because you want that binding to be able to open and close and not have that be glued to it. We just have to get a certain amount of tension on there. So I think what we'll do is put a piece of double-sided tape over that just for a little extra, because the front cover is going to go on. Okay. Here we go. This is always a little nerve-wracking. I don't know why, it just is whenever you do anything like this, I guess. But I think standing up is the way to go, because then you can really make sure that the bottom is lined up. Oh yeah, that looks just about right. And we'll have a little wiggle room because of the white glue. I think what I'm going to do is put a heavy book on here, and then we'll come back and do the back cover. Yeah, our little Gelli Print Botanical journal is just about finished. So what I did was put some paper in the front and the back cover. I did put the back cover on without you guys, sorry. Oh, it looks like that little leaf right there needs a tiny bit of glue. Let's just do that while I see it. There. I also added some white splatter. I like that. To the back. Push that down. And to the front a little bit. Remember what started the project? My little lacy leaves. I got out my little linden leaves that I had put on tea paper. And I thought, what if we use these for like a little maybe pocket in the front or the back? So I tried something. I gold embossed one of them and overlaid that on there. So I want to stitch around this and use this for like a slim pocket in the back to maybe put like a tag in. This one, with just the two in it, I thought it would be pretty to take this little dainty piece of lace and put that underneath and stitch that around as well, and maybe use that for the front pocket. So because these are just like the tea leaves are pretty thin, I thought what I'll do is I'll back them with this paper because I like the brown behind it anyway, and we'll get that going, and I want to emboss this with you guys because I might overlay another gold one here or just somewhere else in the journal. So let's just do this right now. Okay, I'm back. I didn't sew across the top because I like that just like that. Let's give that a little trim and trim. We'll give this a little trim. We are going to go ahead and do this with gold. So this has not had matte medium on it yet. So I'm going to use some of this Distress embossing dabber. And even though this is painted, one of the other leaves I did was painted and the gold covers it up. I'm using Ranger Princess Gold embossing powder. It's very fine and it's nice. I like this, and I like that it's a little darker than some of the other golds. You know, it's not that brassy gold. I'm going to show you. I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer so you can see. And the process of embossing is that embossing powder basically are little micro pieces of plastic. So the dabber holds it on, makes it stick to whatever object you're doing. And then I'm going to just use my little heating tool because it really goes quickly. So if you watch, you can see it melt, and it's very cool. So there it goes. Move the gun around a little bit. It's a little bit hot. That's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I do want to put that right there. So let's just go ahead and do that because I know that I want that on there. So we'll get one thing done. How about that? There we go. I just want to put this off to the side. Let's put it a little lower, I guess, because then if I have a card. And I have this little card that I had, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to glue this on here. I like that. You know what I like doing? Us journalers are so cray-cray sometimes, aren't we, with our inking? I take a Q-tip if I need to get into an area that I can't reach, and I just go like this. I know. Cray-cray. Add a little bug. Oh, I like the bug. Let's put the little bug on there. He's cute. Just for color, we're going to put this little orange tag on. That I could do all day. All right. I think that's cute. Let's get this in there. And I like the back too. I mean, you could stamp this, you could do all kinds of stuff, but I just want to show you what that's going to look like, basically. To our new little linden pocket. Cute. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you had a special little something you wanted to put in there. Oh, what do we have here? A little repair. So I made this, I wanted to use the some of that trim that I put here for the binding. So I made this cute little thing, and I thought that I somehow wanted to hang it right here in the front. I thought that was really just a pretty way to do that. Instead of, you could also glue it and just let these things hang, which would be the easier way. I don't want to cover up my lamb's ear. That would be the easier way to do it, like that. But of course, Kathy always has to do things the hard way. So, I mean, it's not that I like doing things the hard way, it's just more interesting. I was kind of wondering, I could put a little loop of lace up there, velvet ribbon, which is pretty. If we just put that right there like that. Ooh, I like it. We're going to just let that set for a minute because it'll make it a lot easier to sew if that's glued on there. Okay, so back to the front cover so we can finish this up. Oh, this is just kind of like too plain Jane. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that's tripping me up. I'm just going to put some script on there and just over the whole card. Oh yeah. Now I'm starting to like it. Yep. I'm going to sew across this. I might even sew around that tag. See, things are starting to come together here. We're just going to sew right over that all the way around. Be right back. Okay, I think we're going to glue this guy on here. We're going to go off to the side a little bit. Oh, this should be ready to go. Now if I can find my little ribbon. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me just sew that back and forth a couple times. We did it. It's going to go right there. I think we're going to put a little clamp on that for a minute. That's straightened out. That looks good. So I've got that clamped on. We're going to get that little cluster put back through there. And I think this is a really nice little finishing touch to this front page. I like this. Okay, I am going to look for a little something to put in here, finish up a couple things, and then we are going to fit a flip through of our little botanical journal. I will be back in a couple minutes. I'm really glad I added in the embossed linden leaf because that really was the inspiration for this journal, those little lacy leaves I found on that walk that day. after doing this and adding all the finishing touches, I wanted to say that it was really hard not to continue adding labels and stamps and things and embellishing it. I really wanted the jelly prints to be the highlight of this journal, and I think sometimes, you know, keeping it simple is better. And I hope that you'll try this for yourself. So thank you for watching this to the end, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.